Well, look, there's no question that as strategic supply chains decouple and restructure and diversify, and I think that word diversify is very important. Certainly, there will be activities in other countries, and you've mentioned most of them. Even India could see an increase in activity. If Apple, in fact, moves some of its production over to India, I mean, a significant amount of it. So. Um, that diversification is a direct response to this techno-nationalism, and it means that that business will continue, but there will be very specific sectors that will either have to balkanize and set up shop, if you will, in other regions of the world and ring fence those, as well as if they continue doing business in China, they're going to have to come up with a more independent, localized supply chain.
Mm. Yeah, Alex, expand on that. What does that look like? You're talking about this in China for China business model. I would imagine some of these companies worry if they ring fence to too much of a great extent, they don't want to risk backlash out of the market entirely. So how do they retain this market access?
Well, there's no easy solution for this. So you take a company like Apple, which recently announced that it was partnering with a new local supplier, new local suppliers for its casings, for example. One would look at that and say, hey, this is counterintuitive. There's no decoupling going on. They're announcing new activities. But in fact, what they are doing is, as they're doing that, they're looking to embed themselves more in the Chinese market with local suppliers to become a more valuable part of that ecosystem. But at the same time, to hedge risk with the trade war, they're actually moving production of their earpods, for example, which they've already moved to Vietnam. And they're looking to move up to a fifth of their iPhone manufacturing, possibly to India. So there you have a perfect example, and a lot of other companies are following the same issue. And there's costs; they lose economies of scale. Obviously, there are redundancies; they have to produce the same thing or use the same kind of resources exclusively in different locations. So there's not going to be an easy way out of this for the companies that have more strategic exposure to this techno-nationalist world.